Today, I want to talk about the power of clearing the cobwebs from your thinking. The most powerful force in the world is not money, not connections, but the clarity of your own mind. When your thoughts are clouded by confusion, negativity, and uncertainty, you stand in your own way. The first step to greatness is clearing those cobwebs and unlocking the immense power that lies within you. The journey begins with clarity. Without a clear vision, you are like a ship lost at sea, drifting without purpose. You cannot reach your destination if you don't first define it. What do you want? Not what others want for you, but what you desire in your heart. Your goals must be clear, specific, and uncompromising. When you know where you are headed, the road ahead becomes simpler to navigate. But it doesn't end with just knowing where you want to go. Your thoughts will be your greatest obstacle. Negativity has a way of creeping into your mind, like an unwanted guest. Doubt, fear, and uncertainty cloud your judgment and paralyze your progress. It's time to evict these unwanted thoughts. Stop allowing negative thinking to control your future. When you replace doubt with certainty, fear with faith, and limitations with possibilities, you free yourself to take decisive action. Success doesn't happen in moments of inspiration or bursts of energy. It happens in consistency. It's the small, daily actions that lead to extraordinary results. It's not the grand gestures or dramatic efforts. It's the consistent effort over time that moves mountains. Focus on the process, not the result. Your commitment to consistency, no matter how small the steps seem, will accumulate into monumental achievements. Trust in yourself. Without self-belief, even the clearest vision will remain just that, a vision. It will never be realized. The path to success requires a deep, unshakable belief in your own potential. Your mind is a powerful tool, but only if you trust it. Trust that you have what it takes, even when challenges arise and others doubt you. Your belief in yourself must be stronger than any external circumstance or opinion. The key to unlocking your potential lies in your ability to focus on solutions, not problems. Everyone faces challenges. Everyone encounters setbacks, but it's how you respond that determines your success. The moment you stop dwelling on what went wrong and start focusing on what can be done to fix it, your entire mindset shifts. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become a creator of solutions. But you cannot do it alone. The people you surround yourself with will either propel you forward or pull you back. Seek out those who challenge you, who inspire you, and who lift you up. The right company will sharpen your mind, strengthen your resolve, and fuel your growth. Be mindful of the energy around you. Negative people can cloud your thinking and limit your potential. Your emotions are powerful, but they can also be a source of destruction if left unchecked. Emotional control is one of the most important skills you can develop. The ability to keep your emotions in check during both triumph and adversity allows you to maintain clarity in your thinking. When you learn to control your emotional state, you regain command of your focus, your decisions, and your outcomes. Lastly, remember that growth is a never-ending journey. No matter how far you've come, there is always room for improvement. The most successful people are those who relentlessly pursue knowledge, who push the boundaries of what they know, and who continue to grow no matter their achievements. Every day presents an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to become better than you were yesterday. So clear the cobwebs from your thinking. Eliminate the distractions, the negativity, and the self-doubt. Replace them with clarity, faith, and a relentless commitment to your goals. Take control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Surround yourself with those who inspire you and never stop growing. Your potential is limitless, but only if you free your mind from the cobwebs that hold you back. Now, take the first step. The path to greatness starts in your mind, and today is the day you clear away the distractions and begin your journey. Clarifying your vision is the most powerful step you can take toward achieving your goals. Without a clear vision, you are like a ship adrift at sea, tossed about by every wave and gust of wind, with no destination in sight. But when you have a crystal clear vision of where you want to go, you gain control over your journey. You begin to understand not just where you want to end up, but how to get there. The clearer the vision, the more focused your actions become. and the more committed you are to seeing it through, no matter what obstacles arise. You must decide with absolute certainty what you want to achieve in this life. This is not a vague wish or a hope for something better. It is a powerful decision that shapes the course of everything you do from this moment on. A clear vision gives you a sense of direction and purpose. It's the roadmap that guides every decision, every action, every effort you make toward realizing your dream. Without it, you wander aimlessly, uncertain of the next step, unsure of what you truly want. The reality is that most people live their lives without ever fully defining their vision. They follow the crowd, go with the flow, and end up living lives that are reactive rather than proactive. They let life happen to them instead of making life happen for them. But when you take the time to clarify your vision, you give yourself the gift of power. You take control of your future. You stop being a spectator in your own life, and instead, you step into the role of the creator. The moment you clearly define what you want, you unlock a deeper level of commitment. When your vision is clear, your actions align with that vision. You no longer waste time on things that don't serve your purpose. Every decision you make will be rooted in the clarity of your vision. Every challenge you face will become an opportunity to move closer to your goal. And when the inevitable setbacks occur, your clear vision will give you the strength to persevere. You will be driven by an unwavering belief in what you are working toward. It will fuel your determination to push through obstacles and stay focused on the path, even when the road gets tough. But here's the truth. Clarity is not just about knowing what you want. It's about knowing why you want it. The why behind your vision is the emotional fuel that propels you forward. It's the deep internal drive that pushes you to take action when everything around you tells you to stop. Your vision must be rooted in a sense of purpose, a burning desire to achieve something meaningful that will make a difference, not just in your life, but in the lives of others. This why is what will carry you through the moments of doubt and frustration. It's the spark that keeps your fire alive when everything else seems to be falling apart. When your vision is clear, you also begin to see the opportunities around you. You stop seeing problems as insurmountable obstacles, and instead you begin to see them as stepping stones toward your goal. A clear vision allows you to recognize opportunities that others may overlook because your focus is sharp and directed. You begin to think strategically. Every decision, every move you make becomes deliberate and intentional. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You start to see possibilities where others only see limitations. This mindset shift is what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. It is what allows you to rise above the noise and distractions and take meaningful, purposeful action toward your goals. Clarity also gives you the courage to take risks. When you know exactly where you want to go, the fear of failure loses its grip on you. You understand that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. A clear vision helps you embrace failure as a necessary part of growth. It teaches you to learn from your mistakes and use them as stepping stones toward greater success. You stop playing it safe and start taking calculated risks that move you closer to your vision. The more clearly you see your goal, the more willing you are to do whatever it takes to make it a reality. However, clarity of vision is not something that comes naturally to most people. It requires you to take the time to truly reflect on what you want in life. It requires you to be honest with yourself about your deepest desires, your true passions, and your greatest strengths. It requires you to think beyond the limitations of your current circumstances and imagine a future that is larger than what you can see right now. It takes courage to ask yourself the hard questions. What do I truly want? What am I willing to sacrifice to get it? What kind of person do I need to become in order to achieve this vision? These questions are not always easy to answer, but they are the key to unlocking the clarity you need to move forward. To clarify your vision, you must be willing to look deep within yourself and examine the things that matter most to you. You must discard the distractions and the noise that cloud your thinking and get laser focused on what you truly desire. This requires discipline, commitment, and a willingness to invest in yourself. But when you take the time to clarify your vision, you unlock a power that is unstoppable. You start to move with purpose and conviction. Every decision you make is a step closer to turning your dream into a reality. So, if you want to take control of your life, if you want to build a future that excites you, if you want to achieve greatness, the first thing you must do is clarify your vision. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. Start today. Define what you want, get clear on why you want it, and take action. When your vision is clear, nothing can stop you. Your future is in your hands, and the only limit is the one you place on yourself. Negative thoughts are the silent killers of success. They creep into your mind when you least expect them, poisoning your focus, crippling your confidence, and robbing you of your energy. The truth is, your thoughts are either working for you or against you. The power to succeed begins with the thoughts you choose to entertain. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate your mind, you will never reach your full potential. You will remain stuck, limited, and trapped by your own beliefs. But when you take control of your thinking, when you consciously eliminate negativity from your mind, you free yourself to achieve things that once seemed impossible. Every negative thought is like a weight tied around your ankles, holding you back from moving forward. It tells you that you're not good enough, that your dreams are too big, or that failure is inevitable. These thoughts create a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that you cannot succeed, then you won't. Your actions will align with your beliefs, and you will unconsciously sabotage your efforts. This cycle is one that must be broken. Negative thinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken with the right mindset and consistent effort. The first step to eliminating negative thoughts is to recognize them for what they are, lies. Negative thoughts are not truths. They are just distorted perceptions, born out of fear, doubt, and insecurity. The mind is an incredibly powerful tool, but it can also be a deceiver. It convinces you of things that are not true, and it exaggerates the obstacles in your path. It tells you that you're not capable, not worthy, or not smart enough. But you must learn to question these thoughts. Ask yourself, is this really true? Do I have any evidence to support this belief? More often than not, you'll find that the negative thoughts are based on nothing more than fear and past failures. They have no power unless you give it to them. Once you recognize negative thoughts for what they are, you must consciously replace them with positive, empowering beliefs. This requires you to reprogram your mind, to challenge the limiting beliefs that have been ingrained over time. When a negative thought arises, don't just try to ignore it, replace it with a stronger, more empowering thought. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, tell yourself, I am more than capable of overcoming this challenge. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, replace that with, I am worthy of success and I am constantly improving. The key here is repetition. The more you practice replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, the easier it becomes. Over time, your mind will begin to default to positive, empowering thoughts, and negativity will lose its grip on you. It's also important to recognize that negative thoughts often come from external sources. People around you, whether they are family, friends, or coworkers, can have a profound impact on the way you think about yourself. They may unknowingly plant seeds of doubt or reinforce negative beliefs. If you want to eliminate negative thoughts, you must be mindful of the influences you allow into your life. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Seek out those who inspire you, who believe in your potential, and who push you to be better. The more positive influence you have around you, the easier it becomes to eliminate negativity from your own mind. But sometimes, the most powerful source of negativity is within yourself. Your own inner critic is often the loudest and most persistent voice in your head. This inner critic is the voice that tells you that you are not enough, that you will fail, or that you don't deserve success. It is the voice that tries to protect you from disappointment and failure, but in reality it only holds you back. You must learn to silence this inner critic and replace it with a more empowering voice, the voice of your true potential. This inner voice is the one that believes in your abilities, that knows you can overcome any obstacle, and that understands that failure is simply a stepping stone to success. Another key to eliminating negative thoughts is to practice mindfulness. When you become aware of your thoughts, you gain the power to choose which ones to engage with and which ones to dismiss. Negative thoughts often arise from autopilot thinking. when we let our minds wander without consciously guiding them. Mindfulness teaches you to be present in the moment, to observe your thoughts without judgment, and to choose the thoughts that serve you best. It's about learning to catch negative thoughts before they gain momentum, to intercept them and replace them with something more constructive. The more you practice mindfulness, the more control you will have over your thoughts, and the less power negativity will have over you. It's also essential to understand that eliminating negative thoughts doesn't mean you will never experience them again. Negative thoughts will always arise, as they are a natural part of the human experience. The key is not to eliminate them entirely, but to change your relationship with them. When negative thoughts appear, don't allow them to consume you. Don't give them the power to dictate your actions or influence your decisions. Acknowledge them, challenge them, and replace them with more empowering thoughts. Over time, you will build resilience and mental toughness, and the negative thoughts will have less and less impact on your life. Another effective strategy for eliminating negative thoughts is to practice gratitude. When you focus on what you are thankful for, you shift your attention away from what's wrong and begin to see what's right in your life. Gratitude is a powerful tool for changing your perspective and retraining your mind to focus on the positive. It's easy to get caught up in what's not working, but when you take a step back and acknowledge all the things you have to be grateful for, your mindset shifts. You begin to see the abundance in your life instead of the lack. Gratitude trains your mind to look for the good, and when you focus on the good, negativity loses its power. Eliminating negative thoughts is a continuous process, but it is the key to unlocking your full potential. When you take control of your thinking, you take control of your life. You stop being a prisoner to your doubts and fears, and you start being the master of your own destiny. Every moment is an opportunity to choose your thoughts. Choose wisely. Choose thoughts that empower you, that push you to be your best, that fuel your drive for success. When you eliminate negativity from your mind, you clear the path for greatness to enter your life. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success that most people overlook. It's not the bursts of effort or sudden strokes of genius that lead to greatness. It's the daily, consistent actions that separate the successful from the unsuccessful. Success is built one small, deliberate step at a time. You might have the grandest vision in the world, the best ideas, and the strongest willpower, but without consistency, all of those things will be wasted. It's the consistent effort, day in and day out, that compounds and creates lasting results. No matter how brilliant your strategy, if you are not consistent, you will never reach the heights you're capable of. Consistency is the foundation of every major achievement. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by working intensely for a short period and then taking breaks. No, they succeeded because they showed up every day, regardless of how they felt, regardless of the challenges, and regardless of the setbacks. They did the work, consistently. This doesn't mean that every single action will lead to immediate results, but every action, every step, adds up over time. It's like compounding interest. You may not see dramatic change from one day to the next, but over time, those consistent actions will accumulate and deliver massive results. To be consistent, you need to build habits that align with your vision. Habits are the cornerstone of consistency. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone. They rely on their habits. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But habits are automatic. They take away the need for willpower because they become ingrained in your daily routine. You don't have to think about whether or not you're going to do something. It becomes part of who you are. That's why consistency is a product of discipline and habit. When you make progress through consistent small actions every day, you start building the momentum you need to overcome the toughest challenges. The key to developing consistency is to start small and build over time. If you try to do too much too quickly, you'll burn out. Start with manageable, actionable steps that you can commit to every day. It could be something as simple as dedicating 30 minutes each day to learning, working on your craft, or focusing on your goals. When you commit to a small, manageable task and do it every day, you create a foundation that you can build on. Over time, this foundation will grow, and your consistency will build into a massive momentum that propels you toward your goals. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress. If you wait for the perfect moment or for everything to align perfectly before you take action, you'll never get started. Progress comes through consistent effort, not through flawless execution. The idea is to keep moving forward, even if you're not doing it perfectly. The small steps you take today, even if they aren't perfect, will add up over time. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Each day that you show up and put in the work is another step closer to your goals. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you consistently show up, when you consistently do what you say you're going to do, you build confidence in your own abilities. You develop self-trust. You start to believe in yourself because you can see the results of your effort day after day. On the other hand, when you are inconsistent, you lose trust in yourself. You begin to doubt your ability to follow through, and that doubt becomes a barrier to success. By committing to consistency, you build a track record of success that reinforces your self-belief and builds momentum. Inconsistency, on the other hand, keeps you stuck in a cycle of false starts and unfulfilled promises. One day you're working hard and the next day you're off track. This lack of follow-through prevents you from achieving meaningful progress and results. The key to overcoming inconsistency is to make a commitment to yourself and hold yourself accountable. It's not about waiting for the right mood or the right circumstances. It's about making a decision and sticking to it. The successful person is the one who shows up even when they don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when there's no immediate payoff. Success is a marathon, not a sprint, and the only way to finish the race is to keep running step after step. Consistency is what allows you to build resilience. When you commit to taking action every day, you develop a mental toughness that prepares you for anything life throws your way. Consistency teaches you that progress isn't linear. Some days will be better than others, but the important thing is that you show up every day, regardless of how you feel. When you stay consistent, you learn how to handle setbacks, how to bounce back from failures, and how to keep going even when things aren't perfect. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about getting up every time you fall and continuing on your journey. In addition, consistency creates a sense of progress and accomplishment. When you commit to a task or a goal and you see yourself making progress, even if it's slow, it fuels your motivation to keep going. Consistent progress is the reward for your efforts. It reinforces your commitment and drives you to take the next step. Every small win, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment, contributes to your overall success. The more you experience progress, the more you want to keep going, and the more you trust in the process. This creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated and focused. However, it's important to remember that consistency doesn't always mean doing the same thing every day. It means doing something every day that moves you forward. Some days you may need to adjust your approach, try something new, or push yourself outside of your comfort zone. But the key is that you don't stop. You adapt and keep moving forward day after day. Consistency is about making progress no matter how small and never losing sight of your goal. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, it is inevitable. The only question is whether you're willing to commit to that journey and trust in the process. Trust in your ability is the cornerstone of achievement. Without belief in yourself, you are bound to be held back by fear, doubt, and uncertainty. You can have the best plans, the most brilliant ideas, and the strongest work ethic, but if you don't trust in your own ability to execute, you will never take the necessary steps. To turn those plans into reality, trusting in your ability isn't about being arrogant or overconfident. It's about recognizing your potential and knowing that you are capable of handling whatever challenges come your way. It's about believing that you have the resources, skills, and resilience to succeed no matter what. The first step in trusting your ability is recognizing that you already possess everything you need to succeed within yourself. Far too often, people look outside of themselves for the answers, for validation, or for approval. They seek reassurance from others, but the truth is, the only person whose approval truly matters is your own. You have the power to create your own success, but first, You must believe that you are worthy of it. You must trust that the skills, talents, and strengths you possess are enough to carry you through any situation. Trusting in your ability starts with understanding that you are capable, that you are resourceful, and that you are enough, just as you are. Believing in yourself isn't something that happens overnight. It is a process, a journey that requires continuous effort, persistence, and self-reflection. It begins by taking small steps that reaffirm your capabilities. Every time you push through fear, take action, and make progress, you strengthen your trust in yourself. When you succeed, no matter how small the success may seem, it reinforces your belief that you can do more. It builds confidence and momentum, and it creates a cycle of success. But it's not just about the wins, it's also about how you handle setbacks. Trusting in your ability means knowing that failure is not the end. It's simply a part of the journey. When you trust yourself, you can take failures in stride, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Self-doubt will always try to creep in, but it's important to remember that doubt is a natural part of the process. Everyone experiences moments of insecurity. Even the most successful people have doubts about their abilities. The difference is, they don't let those doubts stop them. They acknowledge them, but they don't let them dictate their actions. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can do. When doubt arises, remind yourself of past successes, of challenges you've overcome, and of the skills and strengths that have brought you this far. Recognize that doubt is a normal part of growth and that it does not define you. What defines you is your ability to push through it and keep moving forward. To trust in your ability, you must also take responsibility for your growth and development. No one is going to hand you success on a silver platter. It's up to you to invest in yourself, to improve your skills, and to continuously raise your standards. Trusting in your ability doesn't mean resting on your laurels. It means committing to being better today than you were yesterday. It means taking action, learning from your mistakes, and improving along the way. The more you invest in your growth, the more confident you become in your ability to tackle any challenge that comes your way. Your trust in yourself grows when you see that you can adapt, learn, and improve no matter what. Another important aspect of trusting your ability is embracing discomfort and uncertainty. Success rarely happens in a straight line. There will be times when you feel lost, unsure, or overwhelmed. But trust in your ability means having the courage to push through those moments of discomfort. It means understanding that growth happens outside of your comfort zone. The more you embrace discomfort and take risks, the more you will realize just how capable you truly are. Trusting in your ability means stepping into the unknown with confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever challenges arise. Trusting in your ability also means trusting in the process. Too often, we want instant results. We want success to come quickly and easily, but the truth is the path to achievement is rarely quick or easy. Success takes time. It requires patience, persistence, and consistent effort. But when you trust in your ability, you trust that every step, every small effort is moving you closer to your goal. Even when things don't seem to be going your way, you trust that you are learning, growing, and getting closer to your vision. Trusting in the process means understanding that every setback is an opportunity to learn, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. There is power in owning your journey and believing in your ability to create the life you want. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking external validation. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you are capable or that you are good enough. You become your own source of confidence. You stop second-guessing your decisions and start making bold moves, knowing that you have the strength and wisdom to navigate whatever comes your way. Trusting in your ability empowers you to take full ownership of your life and your destiny. One of the greatest barriers to trusting your ability is comparison. It's easy to look at others and feel like they have something you don't. It's easy to think that others are more talented, more successful, or more capable than you. But the truth is, everyone is on their own journey. Comparing yourself to others only serves to undermine your own confidence. Instead, focus on your own growth. Trust that your path is unique to you and that you are exactly where you need to be. When you trust in your ability, you stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline, and instead, you focus on your own journey. Trusting your ability is a decision. It's a conscious choice to believe in yourself, even when the world may doubt you, even when you face obstacles, and even when things get tough. The more you make this choice, the stronger your belief becomes. The more you trust in your ability, the more capable and confident you will feel. You are capable of achieving far more than you realize. Trust in your ability to overcome any challenge, to adapt to any situation, and to create the life you desire. You have everything you need within you. Trust yourself and success will follow. Focusing on solutions, not problems, is the key to overcoming any challenge and achieving success. Every time you encounter an obstacle, you have a choice. You can either focus on the problem and let it consume you, or you can direct your energy toward finding a solution and move forward. The reality is, problems are a natural part of life, and no one is immune to them. What sets successful people apart is their ability to shift their focus from the problem itself to the solution. When you focus on solutions, you create momentum. You take control, and you empower yourself to keep pushing forward, no matter how big or small the challenge may seem. Problems are distractions. They are the noise that tries to pull you away from your goals and from the life you want to create. When you focus solely on the problem, you become entangled in negativity, frustration, and fear. The more you dwell on the problem, the more it grows in your mind. It becomes an insurmountable barrier that feels impossible to overcome. But when you shift your focus to solutions, you shift your mindset from defeat to empowerment. Instead of getting stuck in the problem, you start looking for the way out, the next step, or the possibility for growth. Every problem has a solution, and when you focus on finding that solution, you open the door to progress. Focusing on solutions requires a mindset shift. It's not about ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging the problem and then choosing to take action toward resolving it. Too often, people get paralyzed by the weight of their challenges. They overthink, they worry, and they let fear take hold. But nothing is accomplished by simply thinking about a problem. Progress comes from taking action. When you focus on solutions, you start asking the right questions. What can I do to fix this? What steps can I take to move forward? What resources do I have that can help me? These questions shift your attention from what's wrong to what can be done to make it right. One of the most powerful ways to focus on solutions is to break down the problem into smaller, manageable steps. Big problems can feel overwhelming, but when you break them down, they become more manageable. By focusing on what you can control, you reduce the sense of helplessness and increase your sense of agency. Every small step you take toward a solution builds momentum and moves you closer to resolving the issue at hand. Instead of looking at the problem as a whole, look at the individual components and determine what actions you can take right now to make a difference. This shift in perspective will make the problem feel more solvable and less daunting. Another way to focus on solutions is to maintain a positive and proactive attitude. When you approach a problem with a mindset of how can I solve this, rather than why is this happening to me, you open yourself up to creative solutions and new opportunities. A positive attitude helps you see the problem as a challenge, not a roadblock. It allows you to think outside the box, explore different possibilities, and find innovative solutions. Proactive individuals don't wait for problems to resolve themselves. They take the initiative and act. They look for opportunities to learn, grow, and improve, even in the face of adversity. By focusing on solutions, you train your mind to see the opportunity within every challenge. Sometimes, focusing on solutions also means accepting that not every solution will be perfect. Perfectionism can be a major barrier to progress as it leads to endless analysis and hesitation. Instead of waiting for the perfect solution, take action with the best solution available at the moment. Progress is made by taking imperfect action, not by waiting for everything to be flawless. Even if the solution you choose isn't perfect, it will bring you closer to your goal than doing nothing at all. Remember, the more you act, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the closer you get to finding the perfect solution. Focusing on solutions is about making decisions and moving forward, not about waiting for the ideal scenario to unfold. Another aspect of focusing on solutions is learning from past experiences. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. When you encounter a problem, take a step back and analyze what you can learn from it. What worked in the past? What could have been done differently? How can you apply this knowledge moving forward? By shifting your focus from the problem to the lesson, you turn every setback into a stepping stone. Learning from your past experiences helps you make better decisions in the future, and it strengthens your ability to handle new challenges with confidence. It's also important to remember that focusing on solutions doesn't mean you have to solve everything on your own. Asking for help or seeking advice from others is a powerful way to find solutions. Sometimes we get stuck in our own perspective, and we fail to see alternatives or opportunities that others might offer. By collaborating with others, you bring in fresh ideas and new perspectives. You don't have to have all the answers yourself. Surrounding yourself with a network of people who are knowledgeable, supportive, and resourceful can help you find solutions more quickly and efficiently. In addition, focusing on solutions means trusting in your ability to find answers. When problems arise, it's easy to get discouraged and feel like you're not equipped to handle them. But remember, you have the skills, experience, and mindset to overcome challenges. Trust in your ability to think critically, to adapt, and to take action. Believe that you can find a solution even when things feel uncertain. Your self-belief will fuel your determination to find answers, and that confidence will guide you through the toughest moments. When you trust in yourself, you become more resourceful and more resilient in the face of challenges. Focusing on solutions is about taking control of your circumstances, rather than allowing the problems to control you. It's about taking responsibility for finding the way forward, even when the path is unclear. Every time you shift your focus from the problem to the solution, you regain your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your own future. By consistently focusing on solutions, you build the mental strength and resilience necessary to face any obstacle with confidence and determination. Remember, no problem is insurmountable. It's not about the size of the challenge, it's about your ability to find the solution and take action. Focusing on solutions allows you to break through barriers, transform challenges into opportunities, and create the life you envision. Surrounding yourself with positive influence is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in shaping the trajectory of your life. The people you spend time with have an undeniable impact on your mindset, your energy, and your actions. They either lift you up or drag you down, consciously or unconsciously, and the direction your life takes will often mirror the energy of those around you. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and pessimism, you will find it much harder to move forward. But if you deliberately choose to be around people who inspire, motivate, and challenge you to be better, you will unlock new levels of success and fulfillment. Positive influence isn't just about encouragement. It's about being surrounded by people who push you to grow, who believe in your potential, and who make you feel empowered to take action. The energy of the people you interact with regularly seeps into your own mindset. You've probably experienced it before. You spend time with someone who is upbeat, enthusiastic, and forward-thinking, and you leave feeling inspired and ready to take on the world. On the other hand, when you're around negative, cynical individuals, you can start to feel weighed down, discouraged, and doubtful about your own abilities. This is not by chance. Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who are constantly focused on problems, failures, or limitations, their negative outlook can slowly start to cloud your thinking. You begin to doubt yourself, to hesitate, and to feel trapped in a cycle of self-doubt. This is why choosing your circle of influence wisely is critical to your success. If you want to grow, evolve, and achieve greatness, you must consciously surround yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. Positive influence doesn't only come from the people you interact with in person. It can come from books, podcasts, online communities, mentors, and leaders who speak to your potential and motivate you to take action. The sources of influence are endless, and it's essential to seek out those that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Every day, you are bombarded with messages, ideas, and viewpoints. The question is, which ones are you allowing into your life? Are you surrounding yourself with people and content that help you move toward your goals? Or are you allowing negativity, doubt, and distraction to occupy your mental space? It's vital to consciously choose the input you allow into your mind. Books, podcasts, and even the people you follow on social media can have a profound impact on the way you think. When you expose yourself to positivity, knowledge, and growth, you begin to see the world through a lens of possibility, not limitation. One of the greatest gifts of surrounding yourself with positive influence is the power of accountability. When you align yourself with people who are committed to growth and success, you naturally hold each other accountable. These people are not just your cheerleaders. They are also the ones who push you when you feel like giving up, who ask you the tough questions, and who encourage you to stay on. Track when things get difficult. Accountability partners help you stay focused and remind you of your bigger vision when distractions arise. They help you stay true to your goals, keep you on your path, and encourage you to be your best self. Having a network of individuals who hold you accountable is one of the most effective ways to stay motivated and prevent complacency from creeping in. Positive influence also fosters an environment of growth. When you surround yourself with people who are constantly learning, improving, and striving for excellence, you naturally start to adopt these habits. You become more focused on your own personal development, constantly seeking ways to improve yourself and your skills. It's easy to fall into a state of stagnation when you're surrounded by people who are not focused on growth. But when you're in an environment where personal growth is valued, you begin to see that growth as an essential part of life. This motivates you to push yourself further, to acquire new knowledge, and to strive for the next level of success. The impact of positive influence also extends to your resilience. Life will undoubtedly present challenges, and it's during these tough times that the right people can make all the difference. Surrounding yourself with individuals who remain optimistic, focused, and strong in the face of adversity can help you cultivate your own resilience. When you're with people who are determined to overcome obstacles, you begin to adopt that mindset yourself. You learn how to face adversity with a solution-oriented attitude, and you develop the mental toughness necessary to weather the storms of life. Positive influence gives you the courage to keep moving forward, even when it seems impossible, because you know that the people around you have faced their own struggles and come out stronger on the other side. At the same time, positive influence is also about learning to set boundaries with negativity. You cannot allow toxic people to dictate your energy, your emotions, or your actions. Some people thrive on drama, gossip, or bringing others down, and these negative influences can drain your energy and derail your progress. It's essential to protect your mindset by setting boundaries and limiting the time you spend with individuals who are constantly bringing negativity into your life. This doesn't mean cutting people off entirely, but it does mean being intentional about the energy you allow to surround you. Choose to spend more time with those who encourage you, who offer constructive feedback, and who celebrate your successes. These are the people who will help you grow and flourish. Positive influence also helps you stay aligned with your values and your purpose. When you surround yourself with individuals who share similar goals and values, you reinforce your commitment to your vision. These individuals serve as a constant reminder of why you started and why it's worth the effort. They encourage you to stay true to yourself, even when faced with distractions or challenges that may lead you astray. By maintaining strong connections with people who share your values and your passions, you remind yourself of the bigger picture. Positive influence keeps you grounded in your purpose and helps you stay on course no matter what obstacles come your way. Ultimately, surrounding yourself with positive influence is not just about seeking comfort. It's about creating an environment where you can thrive. It's about intentionally curating the people, content, and experiences that will help you evolve into the best version of yourself. By doing so, you cultivate an environment that accelerates your personal growth, fuels your ambition, and propels you toward your goals. Your surroundings shape your reality, and by choosing to be around those who inspire, uplift, and challenge you, you are choosing to create a life filled with growth, success, and fulfillment. Mastering your emotions is the key to taking control of your life. Emotions are powerful forces that can either propel you forward or hold you back. How you respond to your emotions, especially in moments of stress, fear, or frustration, will determine the direction of your life. If you let your emotions dictate your actions, you will constantly be at the mercy of external circumstances, reacting impulsively instead of making calculated decisions that align with your goals. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them or pretending they don't exist. It means understanding them, harnessing their power, and using them as tools to propel you towards success. When you master your emotions, you regain control of your mind, and with that control comes the ability to create the life you truly desire. The first step in mastering your emotions is recognizing that emotions are natural and inevitable. Everyone experiences them: fear, anger, joy, sadness, excitement, but it's how you choose to respond that matters most. It's not about trying to avoid negative emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing them for what they are: signals from your inner self that are trying to tell you something. Your emotions are like a compass, guiding you through life. They can alert you to danger, inspire action, or provide insight into your deeper desires. Understanding your emotions and learning to listen to them without being ruled by them is the foundation of emotional mastery. The next step is to develop emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is the ability to recognize and understand your emotions as they arise. It's easy to get swept up in the heat of the moment, reacting instinctively without taking the time to reflect on what you're feeling. But this reactionary approach can lead to impulsive decisions that you may later regret. Instead of reacting, take a moment to pause and identify the emotion you're experiencing. Are you feeling anxious, frustrated, or excited? Once you've identified the emotion, ask yourself why you're feeling that way. What triggered the emotion? Is it based on a real threat, or is it simply a response to a situation that you can control? By becoming more aware of your emotional triggers, you gain the power to choose how to respond rather than simply reacting out of habit. Mastering your emotions also involves learning to control your thoughts. Your thoughts and emotions are closely linked. What you think shapes how you feel, and how you feel influences what you think. If you allow negative thoughts to dominate your mind, you will likely experience negative emotions that will keep you stuck in a cycle of frustration and helplessness. On the other hand, if you learn to challenge and reframe negative thoughts, you can shift your emotional state. For example, instead of thinking, "I can't handle this situation," try thinking, "I may not have all the answers right now, but I have the strength and resources to figure this out." By changing your thoughts, you change the way you feel, which in turn changes how you approach the situation. Mastering your emotions requires mental discipline, the ability to control your thoughts so that you can control your emotional response. Another key aspect of emotional mastery is learning how to respond instead of react. When you react to an emotion, you're letting it control you. When you respond, you take control. Responding requires awareness, intention, and a level of detachment from the emotion. This doesn't mean suppressing the emotion, but rather acknowledging it and choosing a course of action that aligns with your long-term goals. For example, if you feel angry in a difficult conversation, instead of snapping or saying something you'll regret, take a deep breath and respond calmly. You can express your feelings in a constructive way that doesn't escalate the situation but still honors your emotions. Responding with intention empowers you to stay focused on the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in the momentary intensity of the emotion. One of the most powerful tools for mastering your emotions is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present and fully engaged in the current moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you're able to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. This allows you to detach from your immediate emotional reaction and choose how to respond. Mindfulness can be practiced in many ways, such as through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking a few moments throughout your day to check in with yourself. When you practice mindfulness, you develop a deeper sense of awareness and control over your emotions. You stop letting emotions dictate your actions, and instead, you make conscious choices that align with your goals and values. Emotional mastery also requires emotional regulation. the ability to manage and balance your emotions in a healthy way. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather finding healthy outlets for them. For example, if you're feeling stressed, instead of bottling up your feelings or taking them out on others, you can channel that stress into physical activity, creative expression, or journaling. By finding positive outlets for your emotions, you prevent them from building up and potentially causing harm. Emotional regulation allows you to stay in control, no matter what life throws at you. A crucial part of mastering your emotions is developing emotional resilience. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and unexpected events. How you handle these difficulties will determine your ability to bounce back and move forward. Emotional resilience is the ability to stay calm and focused, even in the face of adversity. It means not allowing setbacks to derail your progress or cause you to give up. Instead, you see obstacles as opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. When you develop emotional resilience, you become unshakable in your pursuit of success. You can weather any storm and come out on the other side with even greater strength and clarity. Mastering your emotions also means understanding that emotions are not permanent. No emotion lasts forever. Even in the most intense moments of anger, fear, or sadness, you can remind yourself that these emotions will pass. The more you resist or try to suppress your emotions, the more they'll persist. But when you allow yourself to fully experience the emotion, acknowledge it, and let it pass naturally, you can regain your balance much faster. By recognizing that emotions are temporary, you empower yourself to move through them without letting them control your actions. In the end, mastering your emotions is about taking responsibility for your emotional state and using it as a tool to create the life you want. Your emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. By developing emotional awareness, learning to control your thoughts, responding intentionally, practicing mindfulness, regulating your emotions, and building resilience, you can master your emotions and use them to your advantage. When you take control of your emotions, you take control of your life. Never stop growing. Growth is not just an option. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to achieve true success. Life is dynamic, constantly changing, and if you stop growing, you start to fall behind. There is no such thing as reaching a point where you know enough, have enough, or are enough. The moment you stop growing, you stop living in the fullest sense. Whether it's learning new skills, expanding your knowledge, or pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, growth is what keeps you moving forward. Growth fuels progress and propels you toward the life you dream of. It ensures that you are always evolving, always improving, and always becoming a better version of yourself. To stop growing is to stagnate. Think about it for a moment. In nature, when things stop growing, they begin to wither. The same is true for people. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. Growth is a process, one that requires constant commitment and effort. Every experience you go through, every challenge you face, is an opportunity for growth. It's through those difficult moments, the ones that test your limits, that you are forced to expand your abilities and discover new strengths within yourself. The best version of you doesn't just appear overnight, it's built through continuous effort, learning, and adaptation. Each day is an opportunity to take another step forward, to push a little harder, and to improve just a bit more. Growth often happens in the most unexpected ways. It's not always easy, nor is it always comfortable. In fact, true growth often requires you to embrace discomfort. The process of growth can be painful, frustrating, and challenging, but it's precisely through these difficulties that you learn, stretch, and evolve. You must learn to welcome these challenges rather than fear them. Every time you encounter a problem, an obstacle, or an uncomfortable situation, you are presented with an opportunity to grow. It's easy to think of these moments as setbacks, but the truth is, they are stepping stones toward the person you're meant to become. You must view every challenge as an invitation to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Don't shy away from discomfort. Lean into it, because that's where your growth lies. One of the biggest obstacles to growth is complacency. Complacency is the silent killer of progress. When you become comfortable, when you feel like you've reached a plateau, that's when growth begins to slow down. You may find yourself coasting along, going through the motions, but in doing so, you're not moving forward. Complacency keeps you locked in the same place, stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Growth requires a hunger, a desire to keep learning and improving. You must constantly challenge yourself to break out of your comfort zone. Stay curious, stay hungry. If you aren't constantly striving to learn something new, to achieve something greater, then you are limiting your own potential. The key to continuous growth is the willingness to push past the boundaries you've set for yourself, to reach higher and to do more than you ever thought possible. Another critical aspect of growth is self-awareness. The more you understand yourself, the better equipped you are to grow. Self-awareness allows you to identify areas in your life where you need to improve and to take proactive steps to address them. It helps you understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and the patterns of behavior that either propel you forward or hold you back. With self-awareness, you can make intentional choices about the person you want to become. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you take a conscious, deliberate approach to bettering yourself. By understanding who you are and where you want to go, you can create a roadmap for your personal development and set clear goals that keep you on track. Growth is also a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. You become the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so it's crucial to choose your inner circle wisely. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, who inspire you, and who encourage you to rise above your limitations. People who are content with where they are in life can drag you down, but those who are committed to growth will elevate you. They will push you to think bigger, aim higher, and work harder. You need people around you who don't just tell you what you want to hear, but who tell you what you need to hear, even when it's uncomfortable. These individuals hold you accountable and remind you of your potential when you start to doubt yourself. Your environment shapes your mindset, so make sure it's one that fosters growth and development. Learning never stops. You should always be a student, always seeking knowledge, whether it's from books, experiences, or the people around you. Each day is an opportunity to learn something new. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more equipped you become to handle the challenges life throws your way. Growth is not just about acquiring information. It's about applying that knowledge and turning it into action. It's about evolving into a person who can solve problems, overcome obstacles, and create solutions that lead to greater success. Never stop learning, because the moment you do, you stop growing. Knowledge is power, but only when it's actively put into use. It's essential to understand that growth isn't always linear. There will be setbacks. There will be times when you feel like you're not making progress, and there will be times when it feels like you're moving backwards. But these moments are part of the process. Growth isn't about moving in a straight line from point A to point B. It's about consistent effort, even in the face of challenges. It's about getting back up every time you fall, and it's about having the persistence to keep going despite the setbacks. Growth is a journey, and the most successful people are those who refuse to give up, no matter how many obstacles they encounter along the way. As you continue your journey of growth, you must learn to embrace failure. Failure is an essential part of growth. It's the feedback that tells you what works and what doesn't. When you fail, you learn. You learn what you're capable of, what you need to improve, and what you need to change in order to keep moving forward. Every successful person has faced failure along the way. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from their mistakes and continue growing. Don't fear failure. Instead, use it as a tool for growth and an opportunity to push yourself to new heights. Never stop growing, because growth is the key to unlocking your potential. It's what transforms you from who you are today into who you are meant to be tomorrow. Growth is not optional, it is essential. Keep learning, keep pushing, and never settle. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. So embrace growth, embrace the challenges, and become the best version of yourself. In conclusion, the journey of personal growth is a continuous, unyielding process that requires dedication, perseverance, and a mindset focused on progress. It demands that we embrace discomfort, challenge our limits, and rise above complacency. Growth is not just about learning new skills or achieving success. It's about evolving into a person who is resilient, adaptable, and capable of handling whatever life throws at you. As you move forward, remember that growth is not a destination. It's a way of life. Never stop growing, because it's growth that will ultimately lead you to your fullest potential, the life you've always dreamed of, and the person you were always meant to become. Keep pushing forward, keep striving for better, and never, ever settle for anything less than the best version of yourself.